Welcome, everyone. It's Henry DeVries of Indie Books International. Welcome to the Marketing with a Book podcast. Thanks for joining us today. Special guest today to talk to us about the billion-dollar e-learning field. But before we get there, we'd like to introduce some of our authors. So we have our author roll call. Tell us where you're from and the title or the working title of your upcoming book, and introduce yourself to us. So with that, I'm going to go with Chris Hodges and David Goldman.
Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Hodges. I'm the author of Noble Automation Now, coming out in October this year. And that is how to innovate, motivate, and transform your business with intelligent automation and beyond. And I live in Denver, Colorado.
Thanks, Christopher. And David and Diane, please.
Thank you. Thanks, Henry. Hi, I'm David Goldman. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I wrote the book, The Road to Happiness, How to Get What You Really Want. And I have an upcoming book coming up with Mark and Henry, Mark LeBlanc and Henry DeVries, called Bringing in the Business.
Thanks, David. Diane and then Joe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Diane Ployce. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. The working title of my book is Questions You Need to Ask Before You Buy a Franchise.
Thanks. And now John and Mark.
I'm John Salaika. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. The working title of my upcoming book is Building Trust for Teams, where I want to help organizations measure, manage, and correct trust behaviors.
Thanks, John. And Mark and Mason.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark LeBlanc. I'm out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And in short, we have a book coming out this fall called Rainmaker Confidential. I'm co-authoring that with Scott Love and Henry DeVries. And then early next year, we'll be releasing Bringing in the Business with David Goldman and also Henry. So very excited. All of my books are under the umbrella of business development and growing your business.
Thank you. How about Mason and then Theresa?
Well, greetings, everybody in my Indie Books family and friends community. My book is The Chutzpah Advantage, and it's been out a couple months now. I do have a live series that will be on a platform starting the end of October. It's a 4-part series based on this book, and we're applying it across different verticals, different market needs. I'm based in the Washington, D.C. area.
Thanks, Mason. How about Theresa and then Joe?
Wonderful. I'm Dr. Theresa Ashby, and I have a book called Better Implementation Now, and it's all about the 8 ways great strategies fail and how to fix them.
Thank you. And Joe?
I am Joe Pallo. I'm in St. Paul. I'm in Joe Pallo. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota. The title of my book is How to Sell Nothing. So I've actually got a copy here, so you can see it. Be coming out in November.
Thanks, Joe. Our guest today is Dr. Theresa Ashby, one of our authors. She's really dedicated her efforts to helping people in the e-learning space. And we're going to hear more about that today and how you can use e-learning to build your platform to have more impact, have more influence, and definitely more credibility. So with that, I'd like to welcome Dr. Theresa Ashby.
I have a question for everyone. Are you a consultant who is maxed out and don't have another billable hour? According to eFinancial, a typical consultant works 70 to 80 hours a week. And if you spread that out over 5 days, that translates into 14 to 16 hours a day. So I find when I get a call, it's because people are working long hours with a small return on their investment. And of course, they're looking for more free time. This is why adding some form of digital product to your business model is so important. And let's face it, in today's environment, people really are expecting to learn anywhere and anytime, and quite frankly, on any device. So this is why we help people move into adding some kind of digital product. And there's a lot of confusion around digital products. And I'm going to explain the 3 digital products that really people are leveraging their consulting practices to scale. And the 3 of them are e-learning courses, membership sites, and online communities. And I'm going to give a brief on each one of them and talk about the purpose of those types of products. But we're going to start out with the e-learning course. And simply put, we have an idea what it is. It's a structured course or learning experience delivered electronically. Now, that word experience is very important. That's what keeps people engaged and continuing to learn from you. Successful courses have 4 components. A good instructor. Well, okay, that's you, right? They have great content. Well, you're the expert, and you need quality audio. That means the right mic, that means the right recording environment. And you have to get it edited for all the volume adjustments. So it really sounds wonderful to the listener. And the 4th one, it needs to be quality produced. The production piece is so important. And any digital product has to be directed toward your avatar. A lot of people go, oh, I've got this great content. I'm going to create this amazing online course. What do I like to learn? What do I like to look at? It's the opposite. You want to know where your avatar eats, what colors they love, what animations they love. And then you can engage your learner into that experience. Consultants can leverage these e-learning courses for lead generation or revenue generation. You can create little tiny mini courses, like just snippets of ideas and concepts, or you can build big academies, which have what we call modules. And you can have 5 to 7 with 3 to 5 lessons under each one of those modules. So it's really depending on the transformation you want to teach your listener, your learner, as to how you want to produce it. Let me share you a story about Mimi. So Mimi has been on the speaking stage for 30 years. She's presented all over the world. She has actually coached 8 people to take the TED stage. She came to us because she wanted to create how to speak like a pro. That was her course. She wanted to digitize herself. What this did is it allowed her to sell to a wider audience and spread her message further. And quite frankly, she could sell her product at a much more attractive price for some people. So then clients who bought her course now know, like, and trust her. And I know, Henry and Mark, you're all into about getting people to know, like, and trust you. And you can do that with an e-learning course, because once they engage with her, then she can easily sell them her higher leverage package, which is about $5,000 to $10,000, depending on what they're going for. So that's the e-learning part of the digital products. But there's membership sites. All right, well, it's obvious, right? A membership site is for, yes, members. And it provides the member with access to highly interactive and value-driven content. So remember, we talked about experience and e-learning. A membership site has to be highly interactive. It has to have a lot of content in there to give people, and it has to be value-driven content. Membership sites are good for generating revenue, but the content needs to be exclusive content. So it has to be something people can't get the flavor of, which is you and your lessons within that membership, and they can't get it in anyplace else. Usually the information presented is one way. So you upload your content. In other words, you're providing the content to them, but there's very little interaction from them. They're not coming back and having a lot of dialogue with you, which is okay if that's in your business model to have a membership site. A consultant can leverage the membership site, again, to generate revenue. But here's where some people are doing it. They're creating these sites to continue engagement with their clients well after the gig is finished. So you go in and you're doing all this consulting work. And how many times have you gone, wow, now what? Maybe the learning didn't quite stick. Well, people are creating this membership site and communities to also engage well after you finished your consulting gig. I want to share with you something that we're launching in October. It's called the Ultimate Business Hub, and it is a group of power partners. So 4 people that are in the marketing field. And what they have done is they've joined forces to create a dynamic membership site. Each of these consultants have an expertise in a different area of marketing. One is great in social media. One is great in business development. One is very good in building funnels. One is very good in helping that ongoing conversation and continuation. So what they decided to do is they decided to create this membership and offer a variety of packages within their membership site. It's important though, you can also do this on your own, but if you choose to do it with other people, it has to be synergistically aligned with the consultants. So because you're building this energy around it, so people want to stay and pay, of course, that monthly fee or the annual fee, however you choose to lay it out. If you are deciding and you're thinking, wow, what would a membership site look like for me? It's important that you have a consistency of each month what you do. So for this group that's come together, they're going to do the first Monday of the month, they're going to download an ebook or just a chapter of an ebook, right? This engages people. This gives people an opportunity. They're going to do monthly marketing calendars. So it's all there. They're going to provide some monthly graphics for people. They're going to do live events right within their membership site. And they're going to give daily prompts to help people stay on track. So again, that value add. And as you know, as a consultant, it is key to have a product with recurring revenue. And that's what a membership site allows you to do. So e-learning courses, membership sites, and now the online community. Now, the word community is all the buzz these days. Everybody raise your hand if you agree with me that it's all the buzz. Everybody's building a community. I need a community. This is a community of people. I got to do all this. Absolutely. And communities are very important. But a community has a very specific idea and concept when you're talking about the online community. And what I'm referring to is very specific to an online community. I mean, you know, it's got to be something that is very engaging and very specific. A community is created in such a way that it allows a group of people to come together by a common interest. That is a very important to understand, the common interest or purpose, so that people can interact with each other online. The difference here, a membership is that one way. You're talking to them. You're giving them information with a small bit of information coming back to you. With a community, it's all about the dialogue, the back and forth, that conversation that's going to happen. And that builds a very powerful community. A community allows for that engagement because everyone is learning from everyone else in the community. If you drop a prompt in there, then people comment, people have a conversation about it. Well, this is what I'm doing. Or you can do polls. Hey, how many of you are using, this software or that software? And you can create polls where people are saying, oh, wait, that's 25 people are using this type of software. I need to go check that out for me. As a community leader, you are the expert at putting content out there, but the community members are the experts at teaching everyone and having that conversation. We like to say it's Facebook on steroids without all the noise. So we go to Facebook, right? We're having these, we're liking, we're hearting, we're thumbing ups, we're doing all this in comments, but there's always this other noise that's going on. And by the way, when you have a Facebook group, you can't collect the data to be able to do some other upsells. So I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. A community is really great for consultants who want to build something bigger than themselves. Look, we all have our egos. We all know our stuff. We all want to get up on stage and we all want to teach it. But we also went into business because we want to help transform people. We want to help build something that transforms people. And that's why I call it building something bigger than ourselves. A community allows you to create your own focused audience. Now, we've all been in situations where we try to sell something or trying to give it out, but they don't know us, right? And it's a little bit harder of a sell. But when we get a referral and they know us, this is why I love referring Henry and Mark, because once I commit to them and they are so wonderful at what they do, it's easy for me to refer, and the people I refer really are already engaged and want to work with Henry and Mark. We've all been there. This is what they've built, this culture. And that's what you're doing with a community. You're building a culture of like-minded people who want to help and share and move people on. So you already are creating a focused audience so that when you have an offer to sell, the audience has already been engaged with you. They are warmed up and ready to buy from you. So no more having to do the drudge of, relationships and conversations. You still have to have relationships. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, it makes it easier for us. I want to tell you about Jen Schroe. She's actually a highly sought after softball coach who was named one of the top 50 most influential coaches in the world and is a lead analyst for ESPN Big West Conference. She came to us because she really wanted to create a community of young athletes. She saw that all these athletes are coming together from all over the United States, and she wanted to create a community where the girls could talk with each other. Because when you're young and you're an athlete, there's a lot of pressure. And so having it so you can talk to your teammate or you can talk to somebody across the United States who's in the same situation, it really makes for a wonderful conversation between all of the girls. What this allowed her to do is it allowed her to teach her students digitally, which is wonderful, and keep the girls talking and learning from each other. That was what was so important to Jen. So those are the three: e-courses, membership sites, and online communities. And as you think about what type of product you would like to build, keep in mind, you can build one of these types of products, or you can blend a combination of them. For a lot of you, you went into consulting because you have a message to share, right? We all have our message and we want to share it. But let's look at it. Some of us left corporate. Remember, I'm a reformed corporate executive, gone entrepreneur, because I was looking for more free time. And I was looking to be able to build something for me and for other people, my clients. And of course, we all have to make a living. That's important. So, well, what happens when you take one of these products and you create your e-learning course, you build in that automation, and now you can automate those digital products. So think about this. You can share your message further and wider versus via the internet. Huge. You can have more free time because you are working with your high-paying clients, and you can generate revenue without you having to be in front and center all the time. I know that's hard for some of us to believe, but it really is an opportunity for us to generate revenue where we're not standing up in front of people and doing what most people use as one-on-one consulting, right? The whole point is that you are the expert in your field. That is why you have clients and maybe maxed out of your billable hours. And you love working with your ideal high-paying clients. We all love those clients. Well, a membership site or an online community lets you continue to provide value, again, way after the gig is done. An e-learning course provides options for those who come to you for help. I believe none of us like to turn down someone that we know we can help. But look, there's constraints. There's time constraints, there's financial constraints. So we don't want to disappoint. So e-learning provides the ability to serve that wider audience. And the client who isn't quite ready to buy from you, well, guess what? You have something that they can buy. And then maybe it'll go into the high level package. Some of them just can't afford you. And the option for an e-course is great. Think about never having to say no again when you're doing a sales call. They call you, you tell them what your high-end packages are, you tell them what your media packages, I can't do it, or I don't, all the excuses. You can say, that's okay. Why don't you buy my e-learning course? And we're kind of coming into the wrap up here. I want to just say, you have a book because you've published with Henry and Mark. You're all there, indie books. You have it, you're selling it for $20. You now create the next level offer and earn for your e-learning course, which maybe you sell for $299 or $2,000, whatever you choose to sell it for. The automation helps you grow your business and leverage your time. Sell 10 of those at $299 and you've generated, that's right, $3,000 without you having to be there. Isn't that the definition of scaling your business? I mean, continue to grow your revenue line without any additional effort. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Now you are left with more time to work with your ideal high-paying clients. You can transform more people, get more results without having to say no when you leverage a digital product. And before I leave you, there's just two last comments I want to make. Suzanne is going to put a couple of dates in there that I'm going to have a discovery call where we're just simply going to look at your business model and see, does a digital product like an e-learning course fit into that business model? And we're just going to chat and have a good time. So she'll do that. And with that, I want to leave you with this. Anyone who has a powerful message can create business results that are reliable, relatable, and worth celebrating by building a transformational digital product. It will be amazing for you. Henry, back to you.
Thank you so much, Theresa. Let's have a conversation. So one of our mottos at Indie Books International is, a book is the #1 marketing tool. Speaking is the #1 marketing strategy. Mark has said it in different ways that the best thing you can do is have an audience experience you. So I really think what you're saying, and see if you agree, is that this is a different way for them to experience you than the old model of coming to some place and you're the sage on the stage and they're in the audience and they hear you speak. So what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, Henry. I think that's spot on. They get to really see your style more so than if you're just talking to them in a conversation, right, at a networking group. When you're on stage, they get to see a little bit more of you. When you have a book, they get to see a little bit more of you. But when you're actually teaching them something from a digital product, they can really go, okay, this resonates with me. I want to engage more. Or some people are they get that transformation and maybe they choose not to engage more, but it's been something that you've gotten your message out to them.
Theresa, when you spelled out your business model to me, it was at the start of 2020. The pandemic happened. Has that accelerated your business?
Yes, exponentially. So before 2020, when we presented to you, we had been kind of doing our market research and we had been talking to some people, we'd been dabbling in it, we've been looking at it, we've been understanding it. We started to create our own products. And what happened was those people that we talked about before the pandemic, they're like, no, I have to be in front of the client. I have to be, I've got to get on stage. It can only be me. Well, when the pandemic hit, there were a percentage of people that instantly saw, and Jen Schro was one of them. She instantly saw the importance of building something different. And we had quite a few clients that jumped on. Then people were like, oh, 6 months into it, they're like, everything's going to go back to in person. I'm going to be able to speak. Well, so it kind of ebb and flowed, right? And now people are realizing no matter what, we are in this, and people really have an expectation that they're going to learn, as I said, anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
Now, before I helped, Mark and I founded Indie Books 7 years ago. I came out of the world of adult education. So I was a university assistant dean for continuing education. And also as an adjunct professor, we had gone to e-courses. And in just all the studies that we saw and tested, it is just a tsunami that's coming, and we're just getting the first touch of it. You know, this is the pandemic accelerated the trend, just like it did where we're presenting on Zoom or this podcast that we're doing today. It accelerated the trend. What are you seeing in the crystal ball going forward?
Yeah, it's accelerated it, and it's going to continue to grow. And here's how we know that. Venture capitalists are investing in e-learning platforms. They're creating amazing platforms now, and at costs that aren't as bad as they used to be. And so we say follow the money. So if we know investors are going there, we know it's going to continue to grow exponentially. On the side of where we used to do e-learning courses for academics, because I'm involved in academics too, it was very much more stagnant in the sense of, you know, it would come up, you would have a voiceover, you would teach, you would go through it. Now the expectation is that it's animated, it's got things going on, you can watch other videos, you can take, you know, we did one thing for a client where they wanted to have a video response in real time, but the client didn't want to have to respond. So we created it where they could ask a question and then the person could turn on their video and say, yes, this is the type of leader I am. And it collected all of the data in a video content way. So it's definitely continuing, but you have to up level the production.
Yeah, we call that the robots. The robots are gonna get involved here. Yeah. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave.
Right.
So you made an interesting comment about Facebook on steroids. That's what we found, even, you know, in the dark ages 7 to 10 years ago, that the interaction we would have with the students through the chat functions and these other functions really came alive for them. And I was teaching students from across the country instead of just in San Diego. So, you know, we've seen the future. But Theresa, it's so hard to learn new technology and new things. I'm too busy. To those whiners and complainers like me, what do you say?
So I say, don't worry about the technology right now. Figure out what you want to do. And then once you figure out what you want to do, it's easier to find the technology and use the technology. And of course, Henry, don't you also say, do what you're good at and hire out everything else? All right. You're good at the content. You're the expert. Hire out somebody that can, like us, you know, we can put it on the platform for you. But we've made it really, really easy for people. We take them through a systematic process, through discovery. What is your business model? What is it going to look like? Who's your avatar? What's the transformation? And then we go into the development where we say, all right, what are your modules? What are your lessons? And then we go into the scripting, because you have to script it different than when you're on stage or you're doing a workshop. And then once we understand that, what you're going to deliver, what downloads you're going to offer, then we go and search for the right platform. Don't buy a platform bigger than everything that you need. Sometimes there's so many bells and whistles. You can get something for $10 a month that is just perfectly fine for you, or the $250 a month. So don't let the technology scare you away. That'll happen.
So when you know what you want to say, you can find the how to say it in the right way. Okay,
Oh, wait,
great.
isn't that how I wrote my book with you?
I believe so.
Yes.
And then also I've done interviews with you on this subject. There's a couple of Forbes columns where Dr. Ashby really breaks it down step by step on what you need to do to get ready. And if anybody wants that, I can direct you to it. Okay, so the next thing is you're working on that how, and this is not a get rich quick scheme.
Nope.
How does this fit into your overall program, or what are you recommending it fits into the overall program for a consultant who's a author and a speaker and an expert?
It is not a get rich. And I will tell you, there are plenty of people out there selling it as a get rich. For us, that's not what we're helping people with. We're helping them find out where it fits in their business model. So it guides people to the upsell. So does it fit before the book, after the book? Does it fit within the speaking engagement? Is it a back of the room sell? So it has to be a part of your business model. Now, when you see online people making, oh, we sold all these and we made $100,000 and, overnight. Yes, they did. But guess what? That $100,000, they probably spent $99,000 on marketing and social media and all of that kind of stuff. So yes, you have to have it, but we look at it as an additional revenue or that lead gen. Again, part of your whole process of the business model. Don't just do it to do it, because it takes a lot of work up front. The rewards come after it's done, because now it's done and you're not having to put effort into it. So high effort at the beginning, low effort in the end with higher dollar results.
Yeah. Like the book, but it's really the book and the speaking we teach. The ROI is 4 to 20x, but not from the book, not from the e-course, not from the like Mark's table of 12 for 365, that type of training. It's not from those, it's from the high paying clients you attract as a result of that. And these are just more steps on the ladder that they can go on toward your, your 5-figure engagement. The dream was always, oh, I do this book, I get discovered, people are paying 5 to 10, 10 to 20 to have me speak. I come into town, I get a big check, I leave, life is good. It's not the reality now. So we think you need the e-course, we think you need the e-book, we think you need the audio book, we think you definitely need the virtual trainings. All these add up to a better package. What other advice are you giving people who are on this journey, Theresa?
So if you have kind of some trepidation about doing an e-learning course, what we've advised people to do is go ahead and do a workshop online. So you do a 5-day workshop, record it, use your PowerPoints, record it, and you can convert that easily into a digital product with a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of editing, creating some intros and outros. So don't make it like you have to sit down and grind it out. Say, wait, I already do a workshop. I'm going to record it and see what parts I can use. Now, that's how we started out. We created a digital product called the course class. And the first one it was 5 weeks, 2 hours. The first hour was on a Monday, where we showed a PowerPoint and we gave the didactics. We taught them the material. The next Wednesday was office hours for 1 hour, and everybody could come and ask us any questions about the information we provided on Monday. So we did that for 5 weeks. The next time we did it, we converted what we had recorded. We did a little more production, and then that Monday became automated, and we kept the Wednesday office hours. For us, we liked having office hours. It brought the 20 students together. They could learn from each other and interact. So maybe start there.
I think the office hours are a great idea. I think your discovery call, I call mine a book chat. Mark calls his a coffee talk. there's different names for this, but it's part of the enrollment process. And I keep going back to the book we're working on with David Goldman, which is about enrolling people in to do what you do, and enrolling them into a video course is just something logical and familiar to them, just like courses they took through college, through extension, through the Learning Annex or anything else. For many people, it's just a great gateway. Now,
Yeah.
what about the model where they come into the gateway? How do we enroll them into something bigger?
Well, that's why we use the platform, so it's automated. And then we just send them right into that platform. So, maybe at the end of your book, you say, I offer an e-learning course, and you'll have a link to whatever platform you're using. And then they go right in there, and it's completely automated whenever they start. You can do it that way. We have people at the end of their presentations offer an e-learning course. We have people offer a mini course that they're not really selling it. But like, for instance, right now, my free offer is the discovery call, right? Well, what I could have offered is a mini automated course that I would give you a link and you would go and sign up. At the end of that, there is a gentle opportunity to buy something further. So we have the same philosophy as Indie Books. We are not selling you, we are teaching you, we are educating you on adding a digital product. If you want it and want to, move into it, then there's other opportunities. So you can do that. And that's what happens at the end of your course. You offer something else.
It's such a respectful approach and a respectful way of dealing with people. It does make you stand out. So now I'll bring up a negative.
Yes.
And for all of those who have been interviewed by me, Theresa doesn't know what I'm going to ask next. But there are people out there, let me put it this way, who you shouldn't trust. And they do things in a different way. Would you speak to that?
Yeah, and I've been taken by some of them, Henry. I mean, haven't we all as consultants? They're selling. What were we talking about? And you do this. We're not selling the dream.
The dream, selling the dream.
Right? We're not selling the dream. We're selling a sustainable, scalable opportunity by adding books from you. Your small scale seminar, an e-learning course. Ask questions. Learn, go to people you trust. We always, if somebody calls us, they want to see some of the products we've done. So we're a little bound by our clients, but we can send them snippets of the production and how it works. That's why having a systematic process, so people really know, oh, actually, yeah, okay, I can follow that. I understand each step. So there's no surprises at the end. It's like, oh, by the way, you owe us another, $2,000 for a graphic, or look, our mission at Kaleidoscope Media Services is to help 100,000 businesses scale and grow by adding some form of digital product. So we believe in finding the right vendors. We believe in finding the right partners, the right affiliate folks, and we create power partners. And that's sort of how we have eliminated some of the other opportunities for other people to kind of find some people out there. And if they're selling you on, you're going to make $1 million, probably run. No, don't probably, Henry. Let's all just run.
Just run. Just run.
Just run.
Just run.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have the people who are like, every book's going to be a bestseller. So you don't have a bestseller book, and it's like a bestseller for 1 hour on Kindle in this category. Yeah, there's a lot of snake oil and scam artists, and people don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
One of the advantages of these courses is it helps the prospect know who to trust. And the person who builds a bridge of trust is the person who helps you solve your problem in general. They're willing to provide information. There's a cost, as you said, $20 for the book or $2.99 for the e-course, or there's some cost, but it's not, unless you're willing to pay me $10,000, then we're not doing business together.
Right.
It's not
Right.
that approach. And let me tell you, there are those people out there. One program we saw, and it was, you paid $35,000 and you're going to have $1 million business. And unless you're willing to make that commitment, then we're not talking anymore.
Right.
And plenty of people went in that front door, and then later they ran out the back door screaming to everybody, don't go in.
Yeah.
So we don't want to ever be confused with those people.
Well,
So
and that's why we created, the course class. And quite frankly, it's $150. Great. We also have a 90-minute consulting offer for somebody. If they're not really sure, but they need more help, they think they can do it on their own, fine, come sit with us for 90 minutes. And then we have our bigger packages, because again, Henry, it isn't about selling them. It's about helping them. And so how do we help them? Well, you have to offer them a variety of ways to work with you.
So it's important. I'm going to ask you to repeat those offers again, and then I'm going to talk about the strategy behind it. So please repeat it.
Yeah. So I have a book. That's one opportunity. The other opportunity is for $149. You can get a course class, which is a digital product, and it's out there. You can buy it. Then we have a 90-minute consult fee, which is $365 for 90 minutes. You get to meet with me and we talk through your business model in an in-depth way. For somebody like this that we offer, this group a 30-minute discovery call. We offer that because we want to just talk and see if it's right for you. And then we have the bigger packages, and our packages range from, $3,500 on up. I mean, they can go $10,000, $15,000 depending on how much production you want, how much video work you want. But it's very clear with those packages so that people feel like I know exactly what I'm getting. And we aren't, as you say, other people try to get you in and then, okay, now we're going to really sell. No, this is what you get for what you get. And we want you happy.
Okay. So thank you for sharing that. I wanted to dissect it, like, timeout. Let's look at that play like they do in the football things where we'll diagram it. Theresa was offering several easy yeses.
Yes.
It's easy to take a $150 step. It's easy to take a $365 step. And if these numbers sound familiar to you, they are. And they have been tested and proven. The next part of it is you actually offer help at these prices. Not what some other people teach is you just keep talking about the what, but you don't give them the how until they come into your bigger program, which is not the enrollment that we're teaching.
Right.
There's several steps. And as someone taught me, and they used the retail example, they said, Henry, if you'll notice, Nordstrom doesn't have one door to get into Nordstrom. There are many doors that you can use to get into Nordstrom. So I like to think about it with our work, our content, how we're helping people. There should be many different doors to get in, and we should be happy with whatever door we're offering. Now, true confession, I am behind on my course with Theresa. I know the truth, and I need to carve out the time to finish the course and get it up there. So I am a client, but I don't have you the course to show yet, because I'm like all of us.
That's right.
I have good intentions
Yeah.
and need to put it on, as Mark would say, the 90-day ender, and commit that in 90 days you'll finish it and you'll take the steps to do it. So a lot of this is just committing to it. I suggest you start with a small first step and a discovery call to learn more. And it's not something that like, this is a flash in the pan. This is a big trend, and we need to understand it and take advantage of it. I look at a lot of you on the call, and I think this needs to be part of your offering. For some of you, I just first got to get the book done. And then we're looking at all these other things to do. It can be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be. So how do you start in a small way? And I love the idea about doing a workshop, maybe on Zoom, recording it, and that's a start.
Yep.
This dovetails with what Patrick McGowan talks about, better visual presence, better audio presence. That was always the downside. A lot of people out there, and you've probably attended them, it was crappy, pardon my French. It was a PowerPoint, and they read the PowerPoint slides, and they were using the mics off the computer, and it just wasn't good sound. One of the studies we've done is how people judge a consultant or a coach, and it's your visual and audio package that they use as a substitute, because they don't really know how good your work is. So they'll evaluate by other things. Does your book look professional? Does your video look professional? Do you look, I've heard Mark say it, referable on screen, that they say, oh, I could refer that person. They come across with a presence. It's something we're all working on. So thank you so much. Today, I always do this. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you wanted to add before we close?
Henry, I just, it's one of those things that what you do is you find somebody that understands how to grow their business, and then you model after it. And you're right. Some of the things I've shared are very much what you and Mark have taught us. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate this opportunity. And I want to have that same culture in our company. And that's the culture we're growing, similar to yours. So thank you for all your guidance.
Thank you. We're assembling a lot of kindred spirits in the Indie Books family. And it's about, you made some comment on relationships. Yeah, it's about the relationships. This is what's moving us all forward and amplifying our work. So thank you for your amplification of our work, and we're continue to be supporters of yours. And we think what you do is very important. We appreciate being part of your team. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. That's a wrap on this episode of Marketing with a Book. And we look forward to sharing more aspects of the business side of being a consultant, coach, author, speaker, expert, and tying that all together. And I think it was a good message that it all starts with who are you trying to help and how can you help them? Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye, everybody.